Greetings everyone, and welcome to the Mega Man issue 35 review. Sorry this one took a while folks, I was busy with some other things. And I would like to say, the main story has some interesting dynamics, and the backup story is full of delicious fan service. But before we get started, recap time. Dr. Cain unearthed Dr. Light's final creation, X, a robot that can think and feel for himself. Using X and Dr. Light's notes, Dr. Cain started production on the Reploids and integrating them into society. X worries that things were moving a bit too fast. Meanwhile, 100 years in the past, Mega Man and some of his friends returned to the Amazon to find evidence proving Dr. Wily's innocence during the Raw Moon incident. Shadow Man was successfully recruited into Dr. Wily's ranks, and the Robot Masters left to help build the next Wily Fortress, except for Breakman. He made a slight detour to GeoWorks Industries to have a chat with Quake Woman. So, let's start with these two, okay? Breakman wants to know why Tempo is staying with Dr. La Linde after the personality tampering. She brings Breakman inside to show him video of herself before her accident, and she was much more immature back then. Breakman argues that Tempo is not the same now, and again, points out why she is staying with her creator. At the same time, Tempo wonders if it's more about Breakman. It is. As Tempo points out, it's ultimately about forgiveness. She knows what happened prior to the blackout with the Mega Man fight and the shooting of Roll. And will they forgive him for that? Breakman and Tempo argue back and forth until the root of the problem comes out. Breakman thought Dr. Light replaced him with new children. Dr. La Linde, who heard everything, tells Breakman that Dr. Light built a brother and sister for him when he hopefully came back, so that he will not be lonely again. Ooh, symbolism. And with that, Breakman leaves. Dr. La Linde apologizes to Tempo for her past behavior and vow that they will help fix each other. Meanwhile, back in the Amazon, Mega Man, Feral Man, and Plant Man enter Raw Moon's chamber. The Blue Bummer is a bit jumpy. Understandable since he nearly died here. Feral Man gives the all clear and everyone else enters the room to begin their analysis. And oh geez, Raw Moon? Well, thankfully, after some analysis, the doctors confirm that Raw Moon is dead. Much to Mega Man's relief, that is. And geez, Pedro! Oh, wow. Never expected this behavior in the book, but yeah. Alright, Mega Man regrets being happy that Raw Moon's dead, but Dr. Light comforts him in saying that it's completely normal to have such feelings. They find evidence corroborating Dr. Wily's story of him fighting back against Raw Moon. Dr. Cossack still has his doubts, but Dr. Light's still optimistic about Wily. And I'm going to feel bad for him when this all blows up in Dr. Light's face. Anyway, time for the group to go back. And Pedro's got some resolution for the Raw Moon incident, although he feels kind of hollow about it. And Roll eases Mega Man with the fact that he did save the world. Fear is the main theme of this story. Heck, the subheading is fear itself. It's how fear is used that's intriguing, whether it's fear for the past, fear for loved ones, or fear of forgiveness. The Mega Man portion of the story also serves to wrap up plot elements in the Amazon. They did find evidence that Dr. Light could use to help Wily. And yes, that's blood on the cable, and that's back when Raw Moon mind raped Dr. Wily a few issues ago. And it definitely raised an eyebrow. And another eyebrow-raising moment was Pedro spitting and cursing on Raw Moon's remains. Though, to be fair, the guy has suffered enough thanks to the alien supercomputer. The major highlight, though, is the interaction between Breakman and Tempo. We find out the reason Breakman went to her is because she was tampered with when she was fixed, something Breakman was afraid would happen to him. We also saw what Tempo was like before she was tampered with. Honestly though, summarizing the entire conversation between the two for this review does not do the scene justice. I would go on and say, get the issue and read it for yourself if you haven't already. It's available digitally on Cosmicology as of this review, but it should be available in physical format soon. Now Tyson Hesh, again, does good art, and it's hard to choose who my favorite artist is for this book. So yeah, overall this story gets a 9 out of me. Onward to the future! Reploids are now commonplace in the city of Arcadia, and things are, for the most part, okay. Except for an increase of Maverick behavior in Reploids. There's a council meeting discussing the Mavericks, and rather than halting the production line, they need to keep the Mavericks in check. Enter the Maverick Hunters. Their leader, Sigma, was designed with the latest circuitry, which means that he can handle any situation with the Mavericks. X came to Sigma not to join the Hunters, but stating that the Hunters may not be the correct solution. Sigma praises X for his opinion, and he encourages him to find an alternate solution. In the meantime, Sigma will keep the story was more setup of the X series, getting a grasp of the world, establishing characters and placement, and like the previous backup story, it was a visual treat to the Mega Man X fans, this time with some shoutouts to future series. First of all, I would like to say that I like the way that both terms for Maverick were incorporated into the story. You know how irregular is the Japanese term and Maverick is the English term for, well, Mavericks. So I like that nod right there. The setting is Arcadia. Anyone thinking Neo Arcadia from Mega Man Zero? And those airships in the back there? Mega Man Legends, especially the one that looked kind of like the Flutter. This one might be stretching it a bit, but the council there, it's made up of 3 members, kind of like Mega Man ZX. Alright, now it's time for the cameos. I see a Blast Hornet from X3, Split Mushroom from X4, and the Maverick Hunters themselves. Well, not including Sigma in the center. From left to right, we have Gravity Beetle, Boomer Kawanger, Flame Stag, Vile, and Spark Mandrill, though they gave him his Maverick Hunter X design. We got a brief glimpse of the Sigma Zero fight from X4, including the damage that resulted in Sigma's facial scars. And Sigma's admiration about X is a nod to, well, the Day of Sigma from Maverick Hunter X. Alright, looks like we got some continuity mashup here. Now this story gets a 7.5 out of 10 only because it's just set up with a nice visual treat. And I do enjoy this visual treat. So we'll see X's world again in an upcoming crossover with Mega Man in a couple of issues. That's issue 37, mind you. And after that, I hope X gets his own book, because it'd be such a waste not to, well, continue onward with his story in comic format. So folks, I would like to thank you for watching, and, well, stay safe.